Just wanted to give y'all a quick little update that XRP has been doing pretty well over the past few hours as the price just touched, let's quickly check it out, $2.45. The trade here over on Blowfin, if you also want to join, link is down below, is doing pretty amazing as well. It would have been a significantly more profit if it was not slacking off the last couple of days, because I guess I did not log back into this account. I stopped like a week or two ago, but the idea obviously still was set in stone, as I've been describing it in every single one of my videos over the past few weeks. And just earlier today, I think it was in roughly 11,000 or so worth of profit. We put about $7,000 in or so. So finally, some retribution for the efforts of our warfare. Nah, I can't call it that, but obviously it's nice to finally see those trades turning back around. And over on Bybit as well, right now they're starting to get into more and more profit. This $1,300 trade is right now $32,000 worth of profit. Definitely not too bad. And on our newer trade account, also a couple of the trades are doing pretty well. Here's XRP and Hbar. We were also able to buy dips for those. And it's kind of funny that I kind of, again, forgot about these accounts for a little bit, but it still turned out that those were pretty juicy buys. And like I always say when it comes to my top coins, if you give it enough time, it'll turn right back around in a positive way. And let me quickly get back to one thing. Every single time I go to the comment section, there's a lot of people saying that XRP is overvalued. Right now you should be selling to buy back cheaper. And I always keep saying, if you just follow the strategy that I describe here, you don't have to follow it word for word. You're your own person. I'm not a financial advisor. But think about it logically, right? If you are thinking of selling XRP the moment it dips below $2, we're just different type of people. I get more certain the lower prices go that it's a good opportunity to buy, a good time to buy. And the people that have the opposite, I don't know. I feel as if this investment game, this trading game is not made for them. Because every time I start thinking about it, I keep thinking, man, if you just try to buy all these XLM breakouts, and as it currently stands, by the way, XLM is having a pretty beautiful breakout, I think you do pretty well. And a lot of people have been saying that this is, again, where XRP starts going on a massive journey. I've not noticed the hype as much. Meaning, for example, if I look around the community right now, the excitement is not as high as it's been throughout the, let's call it the last few months. No, I'm going to say the last few weeks, since obviously it all started mid-November. It's about a month and a half or so. So it's not been that long. The point being here, that right now XLM, after a very, very long amount of time, is again attempting a sort of breakout. You want to know another funny thing though? If we're taking a look at XRP on the Bitcoin chart, a lot of people were mocking it before, but recently here, like I was stating earlier today, XRP has again found its way back, meaning that even though versus the dollar, it might not be looking like the best or so, versus Bitcoin, this is a month-by-month basis, and again, throughout the last few hours here, so, the first day, let's call it, of January, it's already been doing pretty amazing. But really, when you start looking at the depths of it all, today has been a pretty massive day. But if we just take a look at yesterday versus now, it's up roughly 20% or so versus Bitcoin in roughly 2 days. And I think a lot of people are missing why I'm calling it a pump, why I'm calling it a big deal, is because Bitcoin is going flat. And let's see, is there even an XRP ETH chart? Does that even exist? It does. Let's go with the Binance one. If we're taking a look at that, even that chart is similarly up 21% or so in the last 3 days. That is, again, XRP outperforming Ethereum when, again, I've been saying for a long time, right? Usually it's Bitcoin first, ETH next, and XRP, XLM, all those coins afterwards. I've said before that I kind of believe this run, ETH will probably still do a 3x, go to $10,000, something like that. But a lot of coins like XRP and so will do so much better that I'm not really as much a fan anymore of cycling them through. Meaning Bitcoin I'll hold forever, because that's just, I believe in Bitcoin, I'll hold it forever. ETH, I'm holding a lot. Mostly because I think it's kind of like a free 3x. But I've not bought any ETH in a long amount of time anymore, even though last season I was a really big fan of it and I thought it was the basis of a lot of things. This season, it seems like it's not the best play anymore. It just seems like we kind of skip it and can go to the other big altcoins. I will add that that is mostly in the perspective of maximizing gains, not necessarily certainty, because again, like I just said, I think there's a pretty solid chance ETH will see $10,000 this season. And from that perspective, go for it. Why not? But from the perspective of, will this really bring me the best amount of gains? If I look at the XRP versus ETH chart just now and kind of look at it over a longer term perspective as well, this is XRP versus ETH. You can kind of see that XRP has been severely outperforming, even though this should, theoretically speaking, be the time where ETH pops off. But XRP has outperformed it by like 500% or so. And really, it makes you think how garbage ETH is right now. But also, I looked back at some of my old videos from 2017, 2018, even 2019. And you want to know a fun thing? That at the time, ETH was, I think, like $200 when XRP was also sitting at like 60 cents. So I'm thinking, right? It could be slightly lower, but just get the idea. And so I started thinking, man, XRP has done a few multiples, sure, but ETH really throughout all that time has been doing way, way, way better. And really, when you start looking at the chart here as well, the XP ETH chart or the XP Bitcoin chart, like I just showed you, people keep talking about it being overvalued, and I keep not seeing it. I really don't know where they're watching it from. I keep saying even just getting XRP back to old ETH levels is like a 5x from here with ETH staying stable. And if we're taking a look at Bitcoin, all right? Again, I get a lot of shit for this. Every single time I talk about it, people go to the comment section saying, Dusty, it's never going to happen. And I keep saying, well, let's see. And we keep winning. But even if we're looking at just some stable, I would say, pretty logical prices or so for Bitcoin, XP versus Bitcoin, a 3, 4, 5x. This is, by the way, a gain. So if you're looking at this percentage, that is the gain percentage, meaning that this value right here would be a 5x. It will be an increase of 400%. So when we're taking a look at the XRP ETH, because sometimes I forget to specify that. In my head, I think it, but outside, sometimes I don't say it. This would, generally speaking here, be a 5.4x. Let's just call it like that from current prices. So that would be roughly $13 or so per XRP. Again, which would just be old values. Wouldn't even really be that crazy. Now, that's again versus ETH. If we're taking a look at it from a Bitcoin perspective, that would be similar to relatively some of the highest points ever. But again, in that chart, not that odd. And I guess it kind of depends on how Bitcoin is going to perform throughout this time period here. But again, whatever I just mentioned here is versus ETH / versus Bitcoin, with them not moving. Keep that in the back of your head. Because if Bitcoin doubles from here, that would also mean, for example, at this, let's just call it here, at this price point here, that would also mean that XP goes double again, go to what, $25 or so. And similarly with ETH, if it goes to $7,000, getting back to those old values would also mean a $25 XRP. But if we were more conservative, we could say $10,000 ETH. What would we replace XRP at? Let's just, again, be conservative and say $20. Still, maybe like an 8x from here or so. Definitely not too bad. Relatively significantly better. Could you cycle it? Could you go for ETH first, then XRP? Sure, but, well, relatively, is it that much worth it? Is it really that worth it? Well, again, I've been stating that if you look at the right narratives, you can significantly outperform the market. Let's quickly refresh here because I notice it's not looking too good, in the sense that a lot of coins are in the top that should not be in the top, and Bitcoin is not looking right now. Just quickly refresh this. So here we go. So if we're taking a look at the 24-hour performance, we can see again that a lot of our top coins are again just winning. Why? What? Well, I keep stating, ladies and gentlemen, that I personally think that a lot of the coins that we are such big fans of on the channel will keep doing that. And that's why I'm kind of staying away from ETH and all those, because even though there's some pauses, and I won't say it's going to be consistent forever, and they have a lot of way to go, what if just now, exactly what happened in the middle of November is going to start happening here? Bitcoin not doing too much, and just our ISO coins pumping day after day after day. It doesn't have to happen, sure, but even earlier today at $2.20, I said, well, I think this might just start going crazy here. And right now I'm looking back at it, and it's up another 10% at $2.40. So sometimes it doesn't hurt to just be extremely freaking bullish. Anyway, guys, I will quickly remind y'all, if you enjoyed the videos, make sure you press that like button. If you also want to trade crypto, you can check the link down below to Blowfin or WeX. If it's not available to you, whatever, you can use a VPN. I've probably got one link down below. Here we go. So make sure you check out the VPN link. I guess in this previous video, somebody was pissing me off or something. I don't know. I'll remind y'all of one more thing. I've reminded y'all of this many times since I first showed it on December 14th. Damn, I wish I bought when things are going up. When things are coming down, they're like, haha, I was right for not buying this stupid stuff. And then things start going back up even more. I keep saying it. I keep saying, just buy XP below $2. You'll be fine. If it goes to $1.90, go harder. If it goes lower, go harder. You'll thank yourself. And this, if you're wondering why I'm so chill, by the way, first of all, I'm not in my greatest form. I think my throat is going to hurt in the sense that I won't be able to talk soon. I hope I can, but more importantly, because at some point, I've said the same story so many times, and I kind of feel as if it's being repetitive, but I'm also noticing from the comment section that most people are not getting it. But really, if you want to make millions of dollars in a season, it all starts with just really kind of getting in your head that you're going to do it, and that the edge you've got right now is because you've put the work in, because you're listening properly. And most people can maybe listen, maybe they can gather some knowledge for sure, but to really put the work in and make sure they put that money on the line if they're trying to trade something, or in another way, actually commit to whatever strategy they thought out for themselves. Yeah, most people can't do it. So as long as you already believe, no, this is really a golden opportunity I've got right now. For example, if we're talking about the trades, right? I keep describing how easy it is and how I keep working on it and how it keeps working. Right now, we started an account with a few $100s. We flipped it into a couple thousand, right? Remember that? Then I said, you know what, let's go bigger. We put $100,000 in so we could open $1 million trade. We didn't even do it. First of all, because it was kind of lazy, but also because it's just a stream account. It doesn't matter that much. I'm not on here 24/7. You should, if this is something you really want to see thrive, right? But still, even though we really didn't put much effort in, we're still put a $10,000 trade in, right down almost $10,000 worth of profit in what? A week or two or so. Again, it really ain't that hard. Now, the pitfalls, I will always remind y'all, is if you get too overconfident and you start buying it with more money than you actually have, or you're leveraging it too crazy. For example, you can see I have no liquidation price because I deposited a lot of money, right? I got $1 million. Okay. I got $1 million to trade here with. We didn't really use that much, right? We only used $80,000, or let's just say $120,000 here in total. So generally speaking, yeah, we're not really being that pro risk. We're not really being risky at all, matter of fact. But that's also partially because I just expected the price to go back to that 198 or so, or sorry, 189 mark that we saw before, and was going to go really, really hard if it did. And then later on, I adjusted it saying 194, etc., etc. But then also, you got to be active in actually either putting the orders in or being around. Because when you're putting the orders in, sometimes the scary part is if it just cascades through and through and through, you might have still bought way too high. What I mean with that is, let's say you're buying with when prices are going down in this red candle, in a daily candle, right? Let's say you wanted to buy the dip again, but you're looking on a 1 hour chart. Maybe $2.48 or $2.50 look like a good dip because you started buying at $2.65. But then all of a sudden, it's a massive cascade within like a few minutes. So instantly, you're down like 90% or so because the price goes from $2.46, 45, whatever, all the way down to like $2.25. At that point, as the price is cascading hard because of a Bitcoin crash, because of an announcement, sometimes it's wise not to have all the orders open, but to do everything manually. But that also means you have to be there all the time looking at it, which is more difficult. But that is, again, to optimize your profit. Because, again, the strategy I described for you guys, it keeps working right now, though, like I described a little bit ago. We're hopefully going to start changing the trend from mostly downwards to, from here on forward, hopefully mostly upwards, but we shall see. If what happens that happened before, this is where XRP starts trending like crazy again, and we start seeing the massive profit. At least the most important zone has already been taken out here. This previous top from around the Christmas times was the most important level to take out. Just like how previously, right, as you look through here, we couldn't take out that previous top, which made it basically a downward sloping structure still. As at this point here, we've basically had our last high with a low, and now hopefully, well, at least we're already seeing it here, but depending on how we end up throughout the day, but the day is already over. So obviously in Dubai, I sometimes get kind of caught up with the time zones. I wanted to say the day is unfortunately, in that sense, still young. So depending on where we end up throughout the day here, this will decide whether or not the structure now goes from, like I just said, downward sloping here with a double top towards a, I'm going to call it this, upward sloping, where we take out the previous top. You get it for now. Anyway, that's what I'll be watching for XRP. For XLM, it's mostly the same though, still extremely bullish as it stands. Yes, it will get volatile, but that's also the fun of it all. Hopefully you guys have seen some juicy profits today. That's about it.